Good morning. Nehemiah 1. In a distant land, far from the homeland, Nehemiah, a cupbearer of the king of Persia, found himself in a place of comfort and influence. Yet his heart wasn't at peace. His heart was with the people of Israel, and who had returned to Jerusalem. They had rebuilt the temple, but the city still lay in ruin. The walls were broken, the gates were burned, vulnerable to attack. One day his brother Hananiah returned to Judah, and Nehemiah's heart sank as he listened to the report. Jerusalem was in disgrace. The people were living in shame, surrounded by enemies without protection. The city of God, the city of promise, remained in ruins. Nehemiah could have easily stayed in his comfort position, but instead he moved to action by prayer. He didn't just hear the news and felt sympathy. No, he wept, he mourned, he fasted. For days he poured out his soul to God, confessing the sins of the people, seeking God's mercy, and asking for the opportunity to make a difference. His prayer was not just for restoration of the walls and gates, it was a restoration of hearts, his heart and the hearts of his people. Nehemiah's prayer was a beautiful picture of how deeply we should care about the place and people God has placed in our hearts. His prayer was raw, humble, and deeply personal. He reminded God and his promise, confessing the sins of Israel, asking God to remember the covenant with his people. At the end of his prayer, Nehemiah makes a bold request. Lord, grant me success before the king. Give me favor, and that I may go to Jerusalem and rebuild the city. Nehemiah didn't just pray for God to fix things. He asked God to use him. And there was something incredibly powerful in that. Nehemiah understood that prayer isn't just about asking God's help. It's about being willing to do or be part of the answer. When God stirs our hearts for something, we must ask. Nehemiah's prayer wasn't just words. It was the beginning of his actions. So today in Nehemiah, we see a broken world, a broken city, a broken relationship. The first response isn't to act on our own. It is to turn to God, to weep, to mourn, and to ask for his heart. But also teaches us that God is calling us to be a part of the solution. Prayer is not just passion, it is active, and it takes bold actions to hear God's calls. In your life, what are some actions that you can call for? What is your community needing? What are your family members and friends need of you? Take a moment today to ask God how he wants to use you to rebuild, restore, and bring hope. Share this message with someone who needs encouragement. Take action, and let's step forward together in faith, trusting that God will guide us in every step. You have a blessed, wonderful day. One day at a time, we'll get through the entire book of the Bible. Amen.